Hey guys, Odyssey here. Today I'm going to be bringing you a review of The Crew, yes, the racing game. If you like this video at any time, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Really appreciate it, and it would really help me out. So if you guys are willing to do that, that would be great. So first of all, I'm just going to get right into it, talk about the graphics and the overall gameplay of the game. The graphics, I would give them. Now, I was playing the beta, you guys. Now, you have to remember that, so it may not be, it's not fully done, but the graphics at this point, considering that it's such a giant world and it never really has to load while you're driving, there's no, loading screens, I would say the graphics are really good for what the system has to render and all that time. I think the graphics are really good. I mean, not so good to the point where it's like, oh my god, what am I looking at? It's so beautiful, but it's a really good step up from most racing games, like most open world racing games. I mean, the water looks good, the shadows look pretty good, the cars in general look pretty nice. Some of the paint jobs look a little off, but I think that's just kind of how they designed them. But the actual graphics of the game look pretty nice, I'm not gonna lie. The smoke especially looks nice. It's it's not too much, but it's not too little. I'd say it's right there. Graphics, I'd give about a 7.5 out of 10, maybe an 8, somewhere in that range. They're pretty good. Now for the gameplay. The gameplay is really nice. I'm gonna kind of tie this in with the driving styles of the game. The gameplay, it's pretty good. You can be somebody who just enjoys Need for Speed and stuff, open world, just kind of none really simulation, just arcade racers. You can totally have fun with it as one of those. That's kind of what it's meant for. It's a really overall good experience because you can tweak the settings and change a couple things, and it does kind of feel like a simulation game. It's not extremely similar to Forza or Gran Turismo, but it's in between. It's more simulation than Midnight Club per se, but it's not fully there. It's in between, but the physics are still pretty good, and you can get some good driving. It's not all weird arcade, I'm drifting for 5,000 feet type thing. It's a pretty good game, with the driving style and such. Now the story mode. I'm gonna put the story mode, and then next I'll do multiplayer and the community. But the story mode, I feel that it's a good and well planned out story, but at the same time, I didn't really enjoy it. I thought it was, a little bit too comical and kind of made up, and the names they have for people, it makes me feel like I'm playing a kid's game almost, which I get because it is kind of aimed towards all audiences, but the way they describe some of the characters and the way the people talk to you that you're working with and stuff, it just seems a little off. But most open world racing games are like that, such as Need for Speed or Midnight Club, so I do understand why they made it like that, and it doesn't affect the game in any way. The story is still fun and it's still just racing, but it does, impact it a little bit. I'd give the story maybe a 6 out of 10. Maybe a little bit better. I haven't gotten very far in it, but what I've played so far, I'd give it about a 6 out of 10. The multiplayer, it's pretty good. I've done a couple co-op missions, which are pretty fun. And the great part is that you're going to be able to drive anywhere with your friends. So you and your friends just want to go for a road. Say you want to talk to your friend, just be hey, you want to drive across the map in The Crew? It's something really fun to do, but at the same time, you can just interact with people. So I think the multiplayer will be very good once everybody has the game and it's not just a beta. I think it'll get really fun and really interactive. And lastly, I'm going to have the customization for the cars. What I've seen in the beta for these cars, the customization is pretty great. There's a couple things that are sort of off, such as some of the upgrades you can get and how they're done, the leveling up system. But I think everybody will get used to that, and it will be pretty good. So I think that's going to be a little struggle at the beginning, but after a while, it'll be nice, and you'll have everything unlocked. So the customization will be very open, because they do have a lot of things you can customize, such as the bumper, the fenders, the spoiler, the rims, the interior, and there's a lot of options for everything, so I do like that part about it, but it's kind of hard to unlock some of the options for performance and stuff. But I think once you get into the game more, it won't be so difficult, and the customization is pretty good, except the one thing I don't really like is like how they have different specs for the cars, like dirt spec, like raid. I don't know, it seems a little weird to me, but at the same time it isn't a racing simulation game, so it does make sense that they have those, and it does coincide with the story, so I get why they have those. Last of all, I'm going to give my rating for the game. I would give it about a 7.5 out of 10 for what I've played so far. Maybe an 8, you know, a strong 8 maybe, somewhere along those lines, because it is very fun at sometimes. But if you are playing by yourself and you just want to like play the story or go cruising, it does get a bit repetitive, a little boring. And it's not that I'm not into racing, it's just the style of game. It is a little weird, but it's still pretty fun. So I would give it about an 8 out of 10. Also, one last thing I do want to talk about before I say if you should buy it or not. The map. Now the map is very nice and really large, but at the same time, it is somewhat simplified. Like, they have a couple major cities, like 9 major cities or something, and there's little towns throughout driving. But it is a map of the whole United States, but it is not like intricate. Like, you're not going to be able to find your house per se, or find, you know, your street. Like, it's not that detailed, but it still is pretty good considering, you know, your console like renders it all the time. Like, there's no loading screens or anything. It is a pretty great map. Now, last of all, do I think you guys should buy the crew? I definitely think you should buy it if you are into racing, or just, you know, even just having a good time with your friends, no matter what game. I think it is a solid game. I think they're going to be coming out with good updates for it. There's going to be good support by what I've seen already for the game, because when I first got my beta code, it didn't work, and they hopped on it and they got it working within a couple hours. So I think the support will be very good for the game. And overall, I think you guys should buy it, and it'll be a solid purchase. So if you found this review helpful, or if, you know, you guys just enjoyed the video and want to see more, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll bring you more content. Please leave a comment too.